So someone has a heart attack, goes on cholesterol-lowering medication to prevent a heart attack, they can actually be increasing the risk of heart attack. There is no research to show that Crestor and Lipitor prevent heart disease. Did you know that? There's even a book called The Human Cost of Lipitor. Let me tell you the side effects of Lipitor. Muscle wasting, interested? Dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss. And they've added another one to that now, breast cancer, because it's from cholesterol that all our hormones are made. In fact, if cholesterol levels go too low, that person's going to be vitamin D deficient, and there are 2,500 receptor sites on the DNA for vitamin D. Body can't function without vitamin D, and vitamin D is made from cholesterol. Sex and stress hormones can't be made properly if you don't have enough cholesterol. Too low cholesterol is just as dangerous as too high. I've had guests say to me, well, my husband's on Lipitor and his memory's gone. I don't know anyone who's interested in muscle loss, memory loss, or Alzheimer's or dementia, are you? Welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today we're tackling a crucial subject, foods that could be silently sabotaging your health. In our fast-paced world, it's all too easy to reach for quick, convenient options that seem harmless, but could be having a serious impact on your overall well-being. Alarming studies reveal that nearly 70% of adults regularly consume ultra-processed foods. These are the very foods tied to soaring rates of obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, loaded with harmful fats, sugars, and additives that throw our bodies out of balance. In this video, we'll uncover the specific foods that may be putting your health at risk and why. And of course, we'll look at smarter alternatives and share some practical tips to help you make healthier choices. Another no is not fat, but it's wheat. Why wheat? Well, when the hybridization process of making the wheat, the gluten or protein structure of wheat was changed. So originally, wheat was Enkhorn. No, I don't think that I should be there. I think that I should be there. Enkhorn wheat, that was the original wheat, and it had a very fragile structure. And that fragile protein or gluten structure means very easy to be broken down, so easy to be broken down in the grind, in the cooking, in the chewing, in your digestive enzymes. And it is not sure when, but a few thousand years ago, there was a field hybrid with another wild grass that produced emmer wheat. And emmer wheat is not quite as fragile, but it is still fairly fragile. And it is the emmer wheat that went through the intensive crossbreeding. So the hybridized wheat that was hybridized in the 50s went worldwide in the 70s. So by the 1990s, in New Zealand, in Australia, in America, every pasta, every wheat, every cereal, every donut, cake, etc., is made of the hybridized wheat. And that structure of that hybridized wheat is incredibly complex. Very difficult for the gut to break down. And you look at the timeline, 1990s, well established, that's when all the gluten intolerance, gluten sensitivity, gluten intolerance to the point of celiac. Celiac can't even touch it. Gluten intolerant, really, they should only have it once in a blue moon. Gluten sensitive, they can probably have a slice of bread a week. So basically, gluten sensitive, gluten intolerant, and gluten intolerant to the point of celiac basically is just describing the intensity of the intolerance. Can you still buy the original? You can buy spelt and you can buy kamut. And spelt and kamut have the same structure of the emmer. So you can still buy that. You can still buy spelt and kamut. You can buy it as pasta, you can buy it as bread. Celiac, who are severe intolerance, often they can't even handle the spelt or the kamut. but often gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant can. Now, if that hybridized wheat was made into a sourdough bread, because of the culturing process, it breaks down the gluten structure to make it a little bit more fragile. And if spelt is made into sourdough bread, it can bring it back to that original structure of the Enkhorn wheat. Now, if someone eats wheat and they have an intolerance to it, do you know it can get that blood pressure up? So blood pressure can be caused by wheat. So how do you know what you are? I've got a challenge for you. Stop it for 2 months, see what happens.
Wheat is a staple in many diets. However, for some, wheat can cause significant health issues, especially for those with gluten sensitivity or intolerance. Common symptoms include bloating, fatigue, headaches, and digestive problems. These issues have worsened as modern wheat has changed drastically due to hybridization and processing. While these changes were made to increase yield and improve baking quality, they've made wheat harder for many people to digest. Thankfully, alternatives like ancient grains, spelt, emmer, and kamut, are often easier on the digestive system due to their different gluten structures. Fermented options, like sourdough bread, also help break down gluten, making it more digestible. By using these alternatives, you can still enjoy baked goods without the negative effects. Additionally, research suggests that excessive wheat consumption, especially in refined forms, can lead to inflammation, weight gain, and metabolic issues. Reducing or eliminating wheat from your diet can be a smart move toward better health.
Refined sugar is dangerous. It clogs up the arteries. It makes the blood very, very sticky. And you can get so many delicious sweeteners like honey and maple syrup and even the coconut sugars. There's no need to go to the refined sugar.
Refined sugar, which is common in many of our favorite foods, but comes with serious health risks. Refined sugar is calorie-dense, but offers no nutritional value. When consumed in excess, it can lead to weight gain because sugary foods often replace healthier options in our diets, providing empty calories without essential nutrients. One of the most concerning aspects of refined sugar is its link to chronic diseases. For example, high sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Consuming sugar causes blood sugar levels to spike, prompting the pancreas to release insulin. Over time, frequent sugar consumption can overwhelm the body's ability to produce insulin effectively, leading to insulin resistance and diabetes. Sugar also plays a significant role in heart disease. Diets high in added sugars have been shown to raise triglyceride levels, increase blood pressure, and promote inflammation, all of which are risk factors for heart disease. Excess sugar can lead to the buildup of harmful visceral fat, which increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Sugar doesn't just harm physical health, it affects mental health as well. Research shows that high sugar consumption is linked to depression and anxiety. Those energy spikes and crashes caused by sugary foods can lead to mood swings, creating a vicious cycle of cravings and emotional ups and downs. On top of that, sugar is terrible for dental health. It feeds harmful bacteria in the mouth, leading to cavities and tooth decay. When sugar interacts with plaque, it forms acids that erode tooth enamel, causing long-term dental issues. Excess sugar also negatively impacts gut health by encouraging the growth of harmful bacteria and yeast, leading to imbalances that weaken the immune system and cause digestive issues. By reducing or cutting out refined sugar, you can experience numerous health benefits: better weight management, improved blood sugar control, and even enhanced mood stability.
In nature, we find the highest amount of sodium in seawater, and seawater contains 92 minerals. Of those 92 minerals, approximately 30% is sodium, and of those 92 minerals, approximately 50% is chloride. Now, because sodium chloride take up the most amount, they're the first crystals formed when the water is evaporated. So what man does is he scoops up the first crystals formed, he bleaches them white, puts aluminium with it so that it runs freely, and there's your table salt. Table salt is a dangerous salt because we now have two very harsh minerals that if you were to inject both of those into the blood, you would die. There's two harsh minerals and they need all the other 90 to soften them and balance them. The highest concentration of mineral inside the cell is potassium. The highest concentration outside the cell is sodium. And in this bilayered membrane that is around every cell, there are sodium-potassium pumps. And these sodium-potassium pumps are ever going like this, maintaining the balance between potassium and sodium. But when someone's not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and that's where you get most of your potassium, and they're putting table salt on everything far too much, what happens now is sodium levels rise and potassium levels drop. There is a small amount of sodium in the cell, but when this happens, you see osmosis and diffusion happens when the highest concentration merges into the lowest. So now sodium levels inside the cell are rising, which they should not, and the cell swells. What's that called? High blood pressure. The doctor is right. Table salt will contribute to high blood pressure.
While sodium is essential for bodily functions, too much of it can have severe consequences. One of the most significant risks of high salt intake is high blood pressure. Excess sodium causes the body to retain more water, increasing blood volume and consequently raising blood pressure. Over time, this can damage arteries and lead to heart disease and strokes. Reducing salt intake can help lower blood pressure, especially for those with hypertension. Excessive salt also affects kidney health, forcing the kidneys to work harder to filter out sodium. Over time, this strain can lead to kidney disease. Salt even affects bone health as high sodium levels cause the body to lose calcium, increasing the risk of osteoporosis.
And there are two things that I would like to absolutely define for heart disease, and that is caffeine. Caffeine disrupts the neurotransmitters in the brain. Caffeine causes an insulin response. Caffeine actually causes a crisis response. So when someone is in a crisis, their blood pressure rises to cope with the crisis. That's what caffeine does. Also, tobacco. Tobacco also causes a crisis in the body. Tobacco also damages the arterial walls. Caffeine thickens the blood, causes dehydration, as does tobacco.
Tobacco is a leading cause of preventable death worldwide, damaging the cardiovascular system by increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and contributing to the buildup of plaque in the arteries. Long-term smokers face reduced oxygen levels, weakened immune systems, and increased risks of heart attacks and strokes. Caffeine, while often seen as a harmless stimulant, can cause issues when consumed in excess. High caffeine intake can lead to anxiety, heart palpitations, and disrupted sleep. It can also create dependency, with withdrawal symptoms like headaches and fatigue. Both caffeine and tobacco can negatively impact overall lifestyle, as they often lead to poor dietary choices and reduced physical activity, further increasing health risks. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the foods that can harm your health and the smarter alternatives to choose. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with those who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming content on health and wellness. Take care of your health, and I'll see you in the next video.